Hi, everybody. Saying that I paused. Oh, please don't pause on me, Facebook. And if you guys are there on YouTube, hello to you as well. And there is my guest. Let me let her in because I didn't know I didn't have it on. Here she is. She's coming in. Now Facebook is saying that my video stopped. Let's see. Let me check on YouTube. There we go. It's up. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thanks for joining us. So I have Herbalist Sharon with me today. Hi, Sharon. Can you see and hear me? Hi. Let me come back over to Zoom so I can see. Hold on. I'm on 3 different screens.
Oh, wow. You talk about multitasking.
Yeah, I know, right? There you are. How you doing, beautiful?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Man, thank you so much for coming at the last minute. This was completely, just unplanned. So I appreciate you doing this with me.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yeah. Okay, let me just make sure these, let's see. Okay, so guys, the reason why we got on here today is because we have been helping people who have been ill because of the pandemic. And, people are getting their videos snatched down. I know I had a video taken down, so we're just going to be extremely careful, which words we choose. I always have disclaimers on my videos, and I'm going to go ahead and read a disclaimer because, of course, I always edit my video after I post it. Shame on me, right? But here's my disclaimer. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. That one is on taxes. Let's see. Let's do this one. This disclaimer that we're doing is this video and the statements above and within have not been evaluated by the FDA. These are for informational and educational purposes only and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. So just wanted to put that out there. And if anybody has any questions or comments while we're talking, I'm going to be checking both screens, so please feel free to add anything. Now, this is weird. For some reason, the one on my Facebook has completely ended. That's weird. I'm going to try and put it back on. So, Sharon, there was quite a few people that you had been assisting since the pandemic with, symptoms of a virus.
Yes. Yes, that's the last time we spoke. There has been some. I've actually had a couple who are in their 80s.
Okay.
And they, fortunate for them, they were able to get through it with, I don't want to call it minimal discomfort because she was feeling pretty bad, but her husband, his was minimal. He had a slight cough, but told him to use some Himalayan, rinse his mouth with Himalayan salt and warm water, and then that drink some and take some honey, and so that helped him out pretty good. But she had a little more severe symptoms, and I reached out to you, and we had her take the Epson salt bath, She just loves us now.
Yeah. Okay.
The Epsom salt bath is awesome. For those who are not diabetics, it's not recommended for those who are diabetic to take the Epsom salt.
Okay.
But I think for those who have diabetes would be my other one is sea moss.
Okay.
That is now one of my go-to. Either the sea moss gel or the sea moss weed, because the raw form, you put that. I put it in a stocking, a sock. Actually, what do you call it? Pantyhose or something? I mean,
Yeah.
no, knee highs.
Yeah.
Now it was only this much, so it has tripled in size.
Okay.
But it is the most. This what took me so long is that I had to go and take the bath with it.
Okay. That is pretty cool. I'm glad how it worked out for you. Tell them a little bit about why you did that. Why did you put it in there? What were you doing?
I have a family member who had a lot of ailments. What do you call them things? Pre-existing conditions on top that COVID had wreaked havoc through his body.
Okay.
And so barely moving. And I was like, not an herb person. So I couldn't go through orally. So I was like, okay, bath. Because I remember you saying that toxins sometimes we can pull through the feet.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a foot tub big enough. So I was like, okay, let's do the bath then. And oh man, I'm telling you, you could see the life back in them. Body looked good, and people were saying that's amazing within 24 hours.
Really?
So that's how, and soaked in it for a while. I think I had the hardest time getting him out the tub. Couldn't get him out. He stayed in that thing for what, hour and a half?
Okay. An hour and a half.
Yep.
So,
and then the following week, a couple of days later, I did do had him do a foot soak with the seaweed itself, the sea moss.
Yeah.
And what did I put in it? I think I added onions this time.
Okay.
And that helped. But doing so much better. Blood pressure is good. Sugar levels are good. Still have some edema, but we're working on it.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about, because no one knew that. Did you want to talk a little bit about edema or no? And for those of you who don't know what edema is.
Oh, the swelling.
Yeah.
Fluid retention in the legs and hand.
Yeah.
And this leg was so huge, but it's edema plus a knee replacement and all that stuff going on. And so it couldn't bend. Went in the bathtub straight. I think what came out, it was still straight, it was slight, it was a little loose.
Okay.
But I think the second time, the following week, went and leg got in by himself and was able to get out with very minimal assistance because the leg is able to bend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you think that was from the sea moss in the bath?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, let me come back over to the screen. Boy, this makes me dizzy. It makes me feel like I have vertigo when I'm watching it, not in real time. Okay, I'm back on the main screen.
Sea moss has now become my best friend. Although, I don't like making sea moss, but now I see it totally different. So now I throw that boy on the pot on the stove.
Yeah.
Right,
now, what do you
real
do?
Quick.
You said you'll throw it on the stove. What do you do? Because people don't know me and you, of course, have talked about that, but the people who are watching don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So I take the dry sea moss and put it in distilled water and heat it up. Don't let it boil, but until it starts to melt a little bit. And then you put it in. I did not put it in the blender, but you normally would put it in the blender to blend it up, make it nice and smooth. And that way you can take it orally. And so I had some in the refrigerator, so I used that the first time around. But the second time, I was like, I didn't have the time to cook it, so I just threw it in the tub raw.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, what is this going to do to my pipes?
Right, to the
So,
drain.
yeah, so then I was like, okay, I'm going to do, and I think that's when we was talking, we're going to put it in something. So I was thinking of putting it in a pillowcase. It blows up big enough. I mean, a pillow protector.
Yes.
And, but that's when we came up with the sock. So
okay,
I put it in the sock. So, so you still get, the, you know how the water looks, the water will be a little brownish, a little gel going on, but it's nowhere near like when you cook it and worried about clogging up my pipes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about that because I know for those of you who don't know about sea moss, it is a literal seaweed. And when you put it in water, when we have it, we get it sun dried. And so it's like a dried seaweed, which kind of looks like, you know, since this is an Irish sea moss, it tends to look more like ramen noodles when it's sun dried. So what we do is we put it in water to hydrate it and re-expand it. And once we do that, that's when we either decide to either make a gel out of it, which, you know, the gel that I have on my website, or like Sharon here is saying, she put it in the bathtub. And so if you're wondering why she's asked or talking about the drain, you could just imagine if seaweed goes down the drain, what it might do, especially once it has expanded like that. So, and it's very kind of like gelatinous, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, you putting something up to the camera?
I don't think you can see it because of my background.
Oh, yep, there you go. That's exactly how it looks when it's sun dried. That's a good picture, thanks. Yep, so.
Let me show you, I'll show you the expansion.
Okay.
If I can get it out of the sock.
Yeah. So yeah, she called me up and she was like, oh my goodness, I do not want to clog the drain. I'm trying to think, what can I put it in that would keep it from going down the drain, but also still allowing, you know, him or allowing the gel to seep out. So I'm like, why not pantyhose, right? The gel can come through pantyhose. We were coming up with all kinds of things. You know how there are like those bags that jewelry comes in, but not like this, of course, but that has the mesh, like silk or mesh. We were thinking things like that. So, you know, there's all kinds of things you can do, but the point is to bathe in the sea moss if you can, if you have some, if you can get your hands on some. The reason why it's important to bathe in it is because your skin is your largest organ. So you have so many pores on your skin. And when you're in that bathtub, you're going to soak up whatever is in that bathtub, whatever is in that bath water is going to go into your pores. Okay, so this is the best form of getting things in through the reflexology points that we always talk about. And so everybody knows by now, right, about the sea moss. You know that your body is made up of 102 minerals. And so the sea moss has 92 of those. And if you just add a couple herbs to it, then you can create the whole 102 minerals. But when you put that sea moss in the bath and then you're soaking in those minerals, it's helping you where you were once depleted. So let's see. Oh, yeah. There it is. Okay. That's how it looks when it's expanded, you guys. Yep. It's very, you know, soft, and it feels like you would expect seaweed to feel, right, Sharon? I guess for those of you who have been around that type of seaweed. Let's see. Yeah, I remember before I moved away from Las Vegas and I went to California, There was a lot of seaweed on the shore, and because we went to the beach, and that's exactly how it feels, just like it does when we expand it. Because like here, I think here mostly on our shores in this country, we're more used to the leafy seaweed that looks more like greens. But in some areas, the seaweed, it looks, even though it's a little more leafy than the Irish sea moss, it still has that same gel feel to it a little bit. So, but yeah. And then I you know how I am. I always try to help people to understand why this works, or to make sense out of things, so that they can bring it down to a common level. But like the way it feels, I almost wish I had some that I can, like just show people how it moves, how it feels. Once it's hydrated and you're putting something like that in your body, you can just see how it can fill in any gaps that you may have, even literally. Because I know figuratively we're thinking, oh, it's filling in the minerals where you're lacking, but it's got to be one of the best forms of hydration, I would say. I would say that it helps you to, absorb water better, because as we get older, and because of our diets, or because of a lack of calcium and different types of minerals, we tend to get like calcification. And when I say calcification, I mean like, your bones, they tend to get like a coating, and they won't necessarily absorb the moisture like they should. And so that, amongst other various factors, it makes it more difficult to remain hydrated when, we're trying to drink the amount of water that's, recommended on a daily basis. So taking something like the sea moss on a regular basis, it really helps. And if you're fighting something, if you're sick, if you're under the weather, if you have any viruses, when you take the sea moss, that is going to help replenish you, so that you'll have everything that you need for your immune system to be strong, to help you get over whatever it is you're fighting. So just wanted to put that out there. Let's see, what else? I know the Epson, okay, you're back. Okay. So the Epsom salt had been helping. What were some of the other things that helped with the people that you assisted?
Let's see, we talked about the Epsom salt. There we go. Okay. My notes got blocked. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You did.
Coconut water.
Yeah.
Yes, coconut water. To help with the electrolytes. She had that, the coconut water. And then she had the Gatorade, but I thought coconut water was good. Oh, and also another thing for that helps, enema, to take an enema, because you need to clean your colon, right?
Okay.
Hibiscus tea.
Okay.
Because, this thing goes through your blood system, your neurological system. And the other thing was elderberry. I told her to increase the elderberry and increase the black seed oil. Now, I've had several people who are taking the black seed oil and or elderberry, and they caught it, but seemed like most of them were all mild symptoms. Okay. Either a cough, a very slight fever. It only lasts for like no more than 3 days, but the cough usually, if there was real light, within 24, 48 hours, they were pretty much finished.
What were some of the things that helped with the cough?
I'm sorry. I put together a cough syrup.
Yeah.
And some of it was just making sure that they drink plenty of tea with lemon.
Okay.
The honey.
Mm-hmm.
I have my mom, she doesn't have COVID or anything, like she hasn't had it, but she says every time she get a cough, she run and grab some honey and take a tablespoon of honey.
Yeah.
And she says the cough subsides.
Good. When she does that, do you know, does your mom also take black seed oil on a regular basis or no?
She takes black seed oil usually at night.
Okay.
She takes a teaspoon at night.
Okay.
That's to help her blood pressure. And she's hilarious because working on her blood pressure got her blood pressure down. And she's so nervous because she's so used to taking the prescriptions that she doesn't realize that her diet has cleaned her body, that her blood pressure, she doesn't need those candy things.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just opening up something because I'm gonna share some stuff. But go ahead.
That's working out pretty good. And so for those who are having, clean bodies, by staying away from the meat that's causing the parasite, the processed food, the refined sugar, and there's another one: meat, refined sugar, processed food. There's one more. What am I missing?
Grains.
And grains.
Certain grains,
Yes. And so those things are contributing. Whereas if you catch a cold, then if your body is weak, that cold can go through it. So just think something more severe can attack your body. But if it's clean, or you see, you eat clean, your body's clean. Disease do not live in a clean body. And so you're telling on me. You're telling on me. I'm sorry. So I find that has helped a lot of people get through this. That it doesn't attack them as fierce. But if it does, then what was it? The colon cleanse.
Yeah.
The sea salt colon cleanse.
Okay.
What it's called, right? Seawater colon cleanse?
Yeah, it's called a salt water flush.
Salt water flush. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And so that is great to help flush things out of your system.
Okay.
For meat lovers.
Yes. Yep. That's what I was gonna say. So like whenever if you're dealing with a virus and you have a cough or mucus buildup, but especially the cough that does not go away, what I always recommend for the cough is ways to flush the mucus. One of those ways is with taking an enzyme called Serrapeptase that can be found on Amazon. Serrapeptase, I would say take the high potency and just read the directions and follow the directions. One of the most important things about Serrapeptase is making sure that you don't take it with food, because it is a digestive enzyme. So what it does is it kind of goes in there and it digests all of that excess mucus. And Serrapeptase, you usually can feel the effects of the Serrapeptase. I don't know if it's because I've been taking it so long, but usually I can feel the effects pretty much right after I take it, not very long after I take it. So now when you cough, when you're having those spasms, that's going to cause you to increase the mucus. So the important thing is drowning that cough, and you can do that with the salt water flush. if you aren't going to try, the other thing I recommended was fasting, but some people don't like to do fasting. So if you fast for about 18 hours on nothing but liquids and some of the things that I'm going to post in the description of this video, that can also help flush out the cough. You want to flush out what is causing the cough. Once you get that flushed out and you don't have that cough anymore, then you'll be more on the road to starting to, be a little bit more upbeat, have a little bit more energy, getting back to yourself. So I'm choosing my words carefully here. We're not trying to cure anything, but basically we're trying to help people feel better. So if you can't fast, the next suggestion I gave was doing the sea salt in your water in the morning, if you can in the morning, because that's the best time when your body is already prepared to continue with elimination of the toxins that it began with overnight. So if you do the sea salt in the water, which is, I like the Celtic sea salt, you put, Sharon, do you remember what the measurements were that I gave you? If you don't, I'll put it in the description.
2 teaspoons. It's
2 teaspoons of Celtic sea salt and 16 ounces of water, right? Thank you. Okay. So you put that in.
No. Is it 32 in it?
It was 32 ounces.
32
that sounds better. You're right. So 32 ounces of, yep, it is. It's 32 ounces of very warm water. It doesn't have to be hot, but as close as hot, as close to hot as you can get it. And then the 2 teaspoons of the Celtic sea salt, and drink that down. Try to drink it down in one sitting instead of sipping it. You don't want to sip it throughout the day, like I say, with the spicy water. With this water, you want to cause a flush. And boy, oh boy, does it flush. So those are some of the things that kind of like wipes that cough down, because that cough is the one thing that can keep you feeling pretty miserable. And, just like I said, not like yourself. So those things, and then there are other things that we talk about in all the videos that we've done, which is still along the lines of the reflexology. Not necessarily massaging any of the reflex points, but really what we're looking to do is put oils on those reflex points. And then, like Sharon did, she immersed, let me turn this off, sorry. She put sea moss in the bathtub for the person. So you can't get no better than that, because that reaches all the reflex points. But the feet has the largest pores, right? Is it the largest pores? The feet has the largest pores. So when you add some of the things that will help attack these little gruesome thingamajigs going around, if you put the oils on your feet, you'll start to feel a lot better. Not only on your feet, but you can also take and rub it on the chest area, the lung area, the throat. You can even put it on your back. A lot of times when people are going through this type of, illness or whatever, they'll start to feel pain in their lower back, because that's where mucus builds up. And so they start to feel pressure. So if you want to rub the oil there too, you can. All of those things are going to bring some relief. So, and Sharon, what have you found? What do you like to use on the feet?
The oregano and the black seed oil.
Yeah,
I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, it's been really working a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that helps me and my boys whenever we start to feel anything. I do the oregano, the black seed oil, and I also use a blend that is for respiratory problems. So it has like peppermint and stuff in it, eucalyptus, tea tree oil, things like that. it's a blend in itself. So I just do one little drop, one drop. And it's funny because when I put it on us, I rub it on them and I rub it on me, and I never add any more other than the little bit that I pour into my hand of the black seed oil, which comes out to about a half a teaspoon, and one drop of the oregano and one drop of the respiratory blend that I use. All of that, and we never have anything develop or go any further than like maybe a tickle in our throat or anything like that. Whatever I notice, I jump on it real fast because I don't want to take no chances, you know. And then you said you had even did you say you did a foot bath with the sea moss as well, right?
Yes. I did the sea moss, and then after, well, also do the la-di-das,
Yes.
the foot scrub. And
that's what I was going to ask. Did you add anything to it?
Yeah, you know, I love that la-di-da stuff. It helps with the aches and pains, the what do you call it? Muscles.
Now what's in that? The peppermint, was it? Did you say it was the peppermint?
Yeah, it's the la-di-da's experiment. It's peppermint in it, but
yeah,
that's what she says. That's one of them ancient Chinese secrets.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was a mint one as opposed to one of her other. Yeah,
that's all I know.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted you to say.
It works because it opens up. Once again, we have the menthol that opens up the sinus and everything like that. So that's a good one. I know. I would love to know what's in it because
and I wasn't even trying to ask you to say that.
No, I want to know.
They don't know. They don't know her foot scrub.
Yeah.
They don't know what kind is. You know what do you say? Not flavor.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Scent.
Yeah. It's a experiment. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with mint experiment. Okay.
And that's when she said the hint. That was the hint, mint.
Yes, exactly.
So we take that hint. Like, okay.
I think she spelled it that way, didn't she? Did she spell experiment with an I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So all these things have been helping people. And then the people that you've helped out of, I would say, I know there was 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 people that you conferred with me. Out of those 5, what would you say, are you satisfied with how they're doing?
They are doing great. I have only one person who did not, it's not fully recovered, or she still have the cough.
Okay.
And she's going to keep that cough for a while because she's the one person who have not followed everything I said not to do.
Yeah.
And then consuming alcohol, I said, well, you just fed it. So, and then eating, what do you call it? Fast food.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't think that you're going to get rid of this thing by just constantly taking aloe vera and what's that stuff called? Black seed oil. And no, you have to make the change. So that's my one person who is still not doing too well. And she don't want to detox. She doesn't want to fast. She don't.
Yeah.
So everybody else is well and feeling good. Of course, we have the one person who feels better than did before. Also, I have one person who went in the hospital on oxygen, came out not requiring oxygen. So that was pretty cool. I like to talk about how well they're doing.
That is.
Then we have one who refused to. She did do the colon flush. Yeah. But she didn't want to fast, so she's doing good. She's doing good. So everybody is great.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that. So like the people who didn't really follow through with everything, those tend to be the ones that still may have a little bit of lingering like cough or some type of symptoms. But you said that like they may have done some of the things, but not all of the things. And I just kind of want to let people know, usually that's because you're not giving your body a chance to fully run it out of its system. And it really doesn't amount to anything extra. It really just boils down to the fact that your body needs to let it completely run its course when it's trying to detox. So if you're dealing with, you know, the stuff that's going around these days, if you're dealing with any of that, you really want to go ahead and clean out your system. And it really doesn't, in comparison to what you could be dealing with, the symptoms, we've seen people have symptoms and lingering effects for a really long time. Sometimes, you know, well, we saw an article, we talked about one lady who was having things all the way up to a year later. But what you really would want to do is focus on going ahead and just taking the short time that you need to sacrifice to literally run it through. And if that means fasting for a week or so, or even fasting one day every week, you could do something that me and a lot of my followers tried. We were doing juicing on Thursdays. I noticed that has been helping a lot of people. It makes you feel good. It even helps you lose weight. It gives you energy. So, but it's something that really helps to go through and kind of give you a good sweeping. Fasting, juicing, and, you know, changing up your eating habits for a time. Because if you're gonna, let's say you're drinking your proper amount of liquids and you had been eating good, but then you kind of like, before everything runs its course, you go back to some of your old habits. Well, if you haven't really completely eliminated what you needed to eliminate out of your body, and you're going back to your old habits, then it's probably going to resurface. So just kind of want to bring a little bit of insight as to what's really going on internally, so that it doesn't feel so much like a mystery. Once you know, the knowledge is what gives you the power to take control over what's going on. But it's really just as simple as that. It's just as simple as running it out, not doing it halfway, but running it all the way out and continuing with some of the good habits, so that you can get back to feeling like you did before. So that's mainly what we want to focus on with everybody. Oh, you're on mute.
Don't forget my famous soup.
Oh, please talk about your soup.
Oh man,
I wish I had tasted it.
I didn't think it was all of that, but it seems to be very popular. And
yeah, you said they not only do they like the way it tastes, but it's been making them feel better.
Feel better. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. With the let's see, what's in that? Potatoes, garlic.
Did you ever?
It's a vegetable soup with burdock and astragalus, onions, thyme, oregano, rosemary, parsley. Yeah, and that seems to do the thing. But I like astragalus now.
Right. So I was gonna say, did you ever remember how you made it the first time? Because they liked it both times, so that's good. I know.
Yeah. The second time I wrote it down.
You did the second time.
So that way, because I've done it three or four times now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay. I'm so bad at that too. I know what you mean. It's like, it's crazy when you well, I think we both need a camera in our kitchen so we can see exactly what we were doing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I guess before we leave, do you have any other last suggestions? What about being active?
Extremely important.
Yeah.
Extremely important, especially if you can. I mean, sometimes you start out, you're feeling too bad to move. So you take that day and you rest. But maybe the next day you can get up and walk for maybe 10 minutes.
Hmm.
And it's, some places it's still warm. Where I am, it's cold.
Yeah.
But we had fortunate enough to have sun. So get out, get the sun, 20 minutes of sun, 10, 15 minutes of walking. And if you can only do 5 minutes, then sit out in the sun for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So it gets things moving. It gets the blood circulating. And, because if you're laying there, sometimes the blood can't get to the distal, let's see what they call it, the extremities, your fingertips and toes.
Hmm.
By walking, drinking hot tea,
Yeah.
that's able to help the blood circulate through the system to help you feel better.
Yeah.
I find that walking for me and doing some type of low impact exercise,
Yeah.
it also helps the digestive system, because sometimes when you're not feeling well and your digestive system slows down, you get sluggish.
Mm-hmm.
That.
That's good. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then if for those who have severe problems and they're not able to move, the deep breathing also helps a little bit too, right?
Deep breathing is good. Yeah, deep breathing. And I think that I always tell people, I said intentional deep breaths.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so that helps get things going. And even when you're still laying in the bed, and because you don't have a lot of strength, sometimes, like you roll over to your side, and then you can lift your arm, lift your leg, just some type of movement,
Mhm.
flexing your hands and feet. You can't see my hands moving, but they're moving.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so we just wanted to make sure we gave a little bit more advice because I know that people are still contacting us and looking for ways that can help. So, try those things at home. If there's any other questions or whatever, you can reach out to us. We'll be happy to send you some more information. But other than that, I hope that everybody has a very good evening. And Sharon, thank you so
We
much.
forgot something. We
Huh?
forgot the spicy water.
Oh, the spicy water. Yeah, we have been using that for them, hadn't we? I think that was in the beginning too, right?
Yep. Each time we always use the spicy water.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so
So
you
although
still
we're
get
not doctors, but this is the things that has worked for the people that we help. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was talking. Can you repeat that, please?
I said we're not doctors, but these are the things that have helped people that have helped people
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
assisted.
Yeah, and I guess with everything going on here on this platform, I guess it's important for us to mention that. So I'm glad you thought to say that. Thank you so much. I need to add that to my disclaimer. But yeah, so the spicy water, the reason that works so well is because it's completely anti-inflammatory. I still have not yet put it out like on the market, but I guess I can. I was doing more an ebook because it's not something that I would actually, it's more like a recipe. It's not something that I would put on my website for purchase. But it has lots of anti-inflammatory properties in it, the main one being the cayenne pepper. So just make sure that if you are having any problems whatsoever, take about 16 ounces of water, add a pinch of cayenne pepper, add some fresh lemon to it, and you'll pretty much be good to go with that. And eventually I'll get this recipe out. So, but thank you so much, Sharon. I deeply appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh. I sat here and did this whole thing without looking back on YouTube. Let me just double check real quick. So far, there's nothing there. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. But go back over to Zoom. All right. All right. Thank you. And we'll see you guys again soon. This won't be the last time I have her on here. All right, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks.